Ooh, it's 7:37. Angel numbers. We love to see it. How are you guys today? Welcome to Girls Night. I feel like the most authentic girls night I could possibly do is I have my little like overnight face mask on. I'm in my robe, cozy matching pajamas after an everything shower, and I just feel like I want to sit down and chit chat with my girls. It has been a hot minute since we have done a girls night, and I'm going to explain why. And honestly, let's just hop right into it. This year has thrown me in for a freaking loop, okay? Last girls' night was, I don't even remember when the last girls' night was. And I tried to film another one. I really did. And I remember I was not ready to film a girls' night at the time that I filmed a girls' night. I sat here, tried to record it for about 2 hours, and then completely broke down because I was just not in the mental space. I was just not ready. And honestly, I am a firm believer in divine timing, and I feel like everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And all of the things that I wanted to talk about in that girls' night, I feel ready to talk about now. I feel very level-headed, and I feel like that's a tendency that I do have where essentially even in like arguments or creative ideas or just this, that, and the third, I need time. I'm a person who needs time to collect my thoughts, think clearly, and I think that's what we're going to do with this girls' night. So during the last girls' night, I'm pretty sure I had a glass of wine. I was going to make some tea to kind of be like, this is the difference. This is the evolution. I'm too lazy to make tea. I'm honestly kind of exhausted. Anyways, so I was going to film my girls' night last night, and instead I was like, you know what? For some reason, the universe is telling me just not to film it tonight. So I instead read the Let Them Theory, which is a really great book. You guys should read it if that's your thing. If like self-help books are your thing, I definitely highly recommend it. But yeah, I read it last night. I like really flew through it, which I'm really proud of myself for because like reading has never really been my thing. I'm more of like an audiobook kind of person. Like I'd rather listen to things. Anyways, besides the point. And I feel like a lot that I read in that book are a lot of the topics that I want to talk about in tonight's girls' night. So I feel like that's perfect. I did put up an Instagram poll for you guys and kind of be like, hey, let me know what you guys think. Not that many of you left responses, which I don't blame you for because every time I said I was going to film a girls' night, that got thrown out the window. And the reason it took me so long to finally get on here and chit chat is a lot has happened this year in my personal life. A lot has happened in my life. I feel like I am doing a 180 for the millionth time, and I'm like, all right, is this ever going to stop? But I've kind of come to the realization that, like, that is how life works. I feel like you get pushed to rock bottom and then you claw yourself out and you do it a million times, and every single time you learn something different. And I'm like, you know what? I have made peace with that, and that is the only way to kind of go through it, right? Part of the reason that it's taken me a while to film a girls' night is I'm really trying to understand who is it that I want to be on social media? Who do I want to be? And I've been going back and forth like, okay, on TikTok I'm a beauty guru and I do like tips and tricks and then a little bit of lifestyle, and then on Instagram it's more like these are my cute outfits and this is me looking cute and here are the songs I listen to and what's on my mind and here's my day to day. And then I'm like, you know what, for girls' night, what do I want it to be? And I'm like, I want every aspect of my personality because I've always said this. I'm always so much more than one specific niche of my personality. Like I love beauty and I love fashion and I love jewelry and getting my nails done and the music I listen to and all those fun things I share on Instagram. But there's a side of me that I don't give enough credit to, and I honestly think in my day-to-day life and on social media, and that is my brain. Like I know that sounds so weird, but that is it's my brain, my soul, who I am as a person, and I really want that to start shining because I'm very much falling in love with that part of myself. I have been through a lot in this lifetime at a very young age, and I think I've learned so much, and I really really want to be able to share that with you guys and help anybody who needs help or guidance or whatever. And I don't say that being like, oh, I'm all knowing or this is that. I'm just, this is what I've been through. And if you relate to it and if it could help you, I would love to be that person for you. When it comes to social media, some things that I've learned with doing it as my job. Okay, first of all, that's always been my dream. Like, the plan was never to do like a 9 to 5 or go to college or any of those things. Like, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And okay, so there's this little quote, little side story. There's this quote that's like, Delulu is the Salulu. I heard it in a podcast and I've been quoting it so frequently. It's honestly quite annoying, but I love it because it's just positive thinking where delusion is the solution. Like just living in pure delusion that like my plan A is going to work, so I don't even need a plan B. And that is genuinely something I've implemented as a person from the jump. And I've talked about this on like TikTok lives and things like that because I feel like that's places where I can really let my personality shine through. Um, where I got introduced to the law of attraction at a very, very young, early age. I got introduced to the law of attraction by Maud Sun's book, Did I Ever Wake Up, when I was about like, how old are you in like fifth or sixth grade? That era of my life. Jeneen X Palm era, and I know that like either people from my hometown or like my close friends will know exactly what I'm talking about. It was when I used to do YouTube videos. You can literally look it up. It's still on the internet, and I keep it on the internet because it's like a time capsule. What are those things that you bear? A time capsule. Yeah, it's like a time capsule of my character, and I love it. And honestly, you can like see how similar I still am and how similar my demeanor is. And anyways, Janine X Palm. Palm stood for peace of mind. And I got introduced to the law of attraction. I have this very vivid memory of me going into the library in what's called a 5-6 building, which is where the fifth and the sixth graders, you get it, right? Context clues, you're smart enough. And anyways, besides the point. So I remember going into the library and being like, "Do you guys have any books on the law of attraction?" And the librarian looking at me like I had four heads. And she was like, "You're young. Like, you're like 10 years old. Why are you interested in the law of attraction?" And I genuinely think that being it's such an impressionable age completely shifted my entire existence. Like I genuinely also that same year I reference this a lot in on social media where that same year 5th or 6th grade around that time we were told to make bucket lists and like a little bucket list for our future selves. I guarantee 95% of the kids in that class made that bucket list and then went and threw it out. I still have it. I'm 22 years old, a decade later. Is it a decade? 10 years? Don't ask me. Don't ask me about that. That's one thing I can't help you with. Ask me beauty tips and tricks, but I can't tell you what. No, a century is 100 years, a decade is 10. Yes. I got to give myself a little more credit. Anyways, besides the point. I still have that bucket list in this apartment. That bucket list, I have completed everything on that bucket list except one thing, and that is to see the neighborhood live. And if you know anything about the neighborhood, they went on a hiatus for like 5, maybe 6 years. I don't know the exact date. They just dropped tour dates. Did I get the tickets? No. Am I literally living in delusion that I'm still somehow going to be there? Yes. I'm telling you now, I'm going to be there. Things that were on that bucket list: move by the beach, get a silver convertible. Silver convertible was my first car. Become an influencer, have a jewelry business, see Lana Del Rey live, see the Arctic Monkeys live. Those are just like the big things. Travel, all of this fun stuff. Go to VidCon. Actually ended up going as a creator, which was really really cool a couple years ago. But everything on that list I have achieved, and honestly, that is all the proof. You know that one song that's like everything I said I do I did or whatever whatever. That has been so like I've been resonating with that so much, and I don't even mean to say this in a sense of like, I hope this doesn't sound like not humble. That's not what I mean at all. I'm saying this because I'm trying to tell you that like you can do it too, if that makes sense. Like on TikTok and stuff, if I can help somebody grow, back to okay. Little backtrack. My brain is spider webbing again. And if you know one thing about me is I never stop talking and my brain is like 10 steps ahead of my mouth and they can never keep up. Anyways, so on social media and back to who I want to be on social media, I think that my kind of purpose or what purpose I want to put out there is growth with my community. Because at the end of the day, like we're all people. We're all part of the same planet. We're all part of the freaking human can I talk? We're all part of the human race and we all are in this on this journey of life together. And I feel like if we can grow together, that's such a beautiful thing. Whether my version of growth and like my version of helping somebody grow is helping them embrace their curly hair or teaching somebody how to do makeup or teaching somebody how to do this or whatever, whatever. I love that. Inspiring. My favorite compliment on the planet is you inspired me. And I'm like, you're the reason I get out of bed in the morning. Thank you. Like, genuinely, thank you. So I've kind of circled back. The person I want to be on social media is someone that helps people grow and we can grow together. That's kind of my outlook. I'm a real person at the end of the day. I go through all the same feelings and emotions that you do. Just because I put my life on the internet and put myself through the discomfort of that doesn't make anyone superior. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Yikes. Okay, I need water. Oh my god, these lights, these filming lights are very bright and they're making my apartment hot. I have challenged myself to stop drinking as frequently. Not that I ever had a drinking problem, okay? I never, no, no. I'm 22, okay? Like, I feel like this is the age where people, go out, have fun, get these experiences in. But recently, and my friends and I have talked about this so frequently, I hate the way alcohol makes me feel the next day. I hate it. The anxiety is so bad. I genuinely feel like alcohol takes me 3 days to recover. And there was a time where I didn't even get hungover. And now it's like, oh my gosh, let me curl up in a freaking hole. And I'm like, I don't even want to give anything my time or energy that isn't going to help me in the direction of where I want to go or isn't going to help me become a better version of myself. And honestly, it's like, yeah, drinking and going out, it's so fun. So I'm going to limit myself to special occasions and holidays and like vacations or trips or when friends come to visit. I don't need to be casually drinking every weekend. It's not good for me. I guess this goes hand in hand with the whole like law of attraction, this, that, and the third. I genuinely feel like I don't want to give anything my energy if it is not to help me. If it does not make me feel good, if it's not an addition to my life, I want nothing to do with it. You know how we were talking about the neighborhood and the law of attraction and all of this and all of that? That specifically, this is what I mean by like I'm trying to rewire my brain for the 100th time in my life. I'm sitting here scrolling on TikTok and they did it like a little LA show last night or something, and I keep seeing all these videos and keep seeing people like post their footage from this concert, and instead of sitting there and being like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have tickets. I'm freaking out that I don't have those tickets secured." I'm literally closing my eyes at every single one of those concert videos and imagining myself holding the phone, imagining myself recording myself front row at these concerts, and I'm imagining myself hearing these songs live, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Do I have tickets? No. Am I going? Yes. Yes. Finna be in the pit. I think that is so hilarious. Oh my goodness. Delulu is the Salulu. And honestly, back to the whole rewiring your brain kind of thing, my outlook on life as of recently is I am not absorbing anything that isn't making me feel good. Whether that goes to music or podcasts, everything that I'm listening to, everything that I'm eating, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm giving my time or energy to is for me. I feel like I'm entering a selfish era of my life and I kind of freaking love it. Now let's talk about the word selfish for a second because I feel like it is very I feel like it's given a bad rap. That's the best way to say it. And again, this is an ideology, I guess you could say, from that Mod Sun book, Did I Ever Wake Up? That book changed my life. And I hate to be that person. I always see these TikTok comments and it's like, you should get this book. It changed my life. No, that book changed my life. And I've quoted it so often. I've quoted it so there honestly, I feel like the way that that book has like affected my life in ways that I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom. Like, okay, I was listening to it again. Every time I get in like a weird mental rut, and my little sister actually does this too. We listen to the book, right? And it's just something we've like it's just a habit we've picked up over the years. I actually listened to that book the whole drive to this apartment, which I love. So in this book, Monson actually talks about, and it's so crazy because I look at him now or like I listen to his music and I'm like, that's just not who I feel like wrote the book. But the book itself and like everything that it taught me is the message. Does that make sense? I'm a huge firm believer in separate the art from the artist, okay? No hate towards him. Again, very, very pivotal point in my life. Hi, Spooky. What are we doing? Are you chasing your sister around? Okay, that's what we're doing. Go ahead, Cleo. You can get her. I love them so much. Anyways, I didn't even realize that in this book he talks about how his left arm is filled with like artists and people that have inspired him. Da 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 da. My sleeve's on my left arm, and it's basically the same thing. And I didn't even realize it until I read this book or like listened to this book for like the 100th time around. I'm like, oh my god, did that subconsciously wire in my brain? Is that why my sleeve's on my left arm? Like, did I subconsciously? And like, I have art like music artists and songs and different things that have inspired me and like family that's inspired me. Like all my tattoos have heavy meaning all on my left arm, and I'm like, did I subconsciously decide to do that because of this freaking book? Which I kind of love. I kind of love. Speaking of that, there's a quote, and this might be one of my next tattoos because I don't have a tattoo for that book and I actually really want to get one. There's a part in the book where he talks about, and I quote this daily. I kid you not, I quote this daily. He talks about, it's basically called, this part is called Enjoy Your Flight. That's what I want to get tattooed. A little airplane or the words Enjoy Your Flight. Because everybody, oh, the cats are attacking the lights. Give me 1 second. My toes. Those are my toes. I don't even remember. Oh, the Enjoy Your Flight. which is, I think I did make a TikTok about this. Um, Basically, you know how everyone's like, I've seen these TikToks a lot, and I've reposted them quite a few times. Where it's like, don't tell me to be realistic. I don't want to be like fit into your idea of like being realistic, whatever. It's essentially the same idea, just explained, I feel like, in a little more positive light, because that explanation of it feels a little backhanded, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm really trying to focus on rewiring my brain into being just like a positive, well-rounded human, if that makes sense. Anyways, um when somebody tells you to be realistic, tell them enjoy your flight. Essentially, it's saying a multi okay. Basically, to put it in Janeen's simple terms, can you imagine, forget everything you know for a second, and can you imagine a really heavy metal object flying through the sky at an insane speed, holding people, pets, and luggage? That sounds unrealistic. Enjoy your flight. How many flights took off today? Thousands. Thousands. I mean, maybe not with what's going on right now, because the airport is a mess. The airport is a mess. Also, this I love why are we talking so much about airports? I feel like every self-help book I've talked about has talked about airplanes or airports or whatever. Um in the Let Them theory, she was like, if you ever want to be stressed out, go to an airport. And I'm going to visit my parents for Thanksgiving. And in that, I was like, you know what? I have learned how to be very, very calm in airports. And I'm really proud of myself for that. I'm really proud of myself for that. And honestly, I think it's because I have the cats with me. Speaking of airports, I was just in Pennsylvania. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys are coming from TikTok. So I kind of want to talk about that because I'm this is going to lead into a lot of stuff that you guys also want to hear about. Essentially, I was in a very, very dark place for a hot minute there. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be 100% honest and 100% real. I was like, I'm not doing too hot. And I was super open with like my friends and my family, and I was like, guys, I'm not doing too hot. I feel like I've hit rock bottom. And I don't know why, but I was like, I need to go home. I need to leave Florida for a week or 5 days or something. And there's something for me in Pennsylvania that I need to figure out, and I need to go. And I went. I literally up and I called my mom. I was crying, and I was like, "Mom, I'm not doing well." And she's like, "Book that flight. We'll see you soon." And just like that, free will, I was on an airplane within a week. And I went home, and it was the first night I'd gotten back, and I was tossing and I was turning, and I couldn't fall asleep, and I couldn't fall asleep for the life of me. And I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I feel like I haven't moved. I'm like, being in this room makes me feel like I haven't moved in years. Being in my teenage room makes me feel like I'm standing still. And that's when it hit me on why I went home. I'm sitting in that bed, and when you like try to like fantasize before you go to sleep, or like you just try to imagine little made up scenarios in your head, I was like, what did I used to imagine and what did I used to fantasize about when I was living here? And then it hit me. Every single time anything bad would happen when I was in Pennsylvania and I was living in my hometown, anytime something didn't go my way, anytime I was not feeling too hot, any like whatever it was, there was like an argument or this or that or anything bad, I would sit there and I would fantasize about how my life would look in Florida. And I don't know why that made me feel like I had the biggest epiphany of my life. What the fuck am I doing? That epiphany right then and there, I think, healed something so deep within my being, I can't even put it into words. I was genuinely like, I have achieved and done everything I promised myself I would. I am not letting it slip through my fingertips. If it feels like it's slipping out of your hands, grab it harder, if that makes sense. Like, about my dream about being here. You know that Kim Kardashian quote, I didn't come this far just to come this far? I quote that and think about that quote very, very frequently, because I didn't come this far just to come this far. I did not spend the last decade of my life trying to build a career online, getting to this apartment in Florida, for me to sit around and be freaking mopey and be freaking sad about something I can't even freaking control. Genuinely, it was the most beautiful epiphany I've ever had in my life. And since I've gotten back, and I've only been back for 2 weeks, I feel so clear headed. It was exactly what I needed. And I know it sounds stupid that, like, did I really have to get myself and my cats on a flight for a week and go all the way back to Pennsylvania to have this epiphany? Yes. Yes, and that's okay. And that's the way it was supposed to happen. And that's the way things are supposed to be. And I have so much gratitude for that moment of clarity. And it sounds so weird, but I knew that my soul needed to go there to feel that. And I even talked about how it's okay to be homesick and it's okay for this and it's okay for that in one of my TikToks. And yes, it is okay. It is okay to feel things and it is okay to be human and it is okay to feel not okay, if that makes sense. It's okay to get in dark episodes and it's okay to get into mental ruts. But what's not okay is to sit there and do nothing about it. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow. And it's okay for like a little bit. Like feel your feelings, go through the motions. Da 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 da. Like I did it. Like I think I was in a rut for the like 8 months. If you want me to be honest, like I think I was in a dark place for a very, very hot minute. And I felt the feelings and I went through the motions and I made the mistakes and I have the regrets and this, that. But at the end of it, I was like, this is not sustainable. Get out. Does that make sense? Like go do something different. Um so let's talk about that because I know you guys want to talk about that. Before we talk about that, I'm going to take a sip of water. I wish this was wine if we're going to talk about it. That was a bad joke, by the way. Also, what are my neighbors doing? What are we doing upstairs? Always so loud. It's fine because I can be really loud. That's so funny. Little side story. I had met my neighbors, my upstairs neighbors, and they were like, "Do you ever hear us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't mind because I know for a fact you hear me." And they're like, "Yeah, we do." They're like, "You're the apartment that's throwing parties." And I'm like, "Yikes." They're like, "Sometimes we just want to come down and like see what you're up to." And I'm like, "You're more than welcome. Like just knock on my door." Ooh, I think this is going to be a very good flow here. I think we're getting in a flow state. I've been seeing those TikToks and I've been laughing so hard at them. Um, so clearly, me doing the 180 was triggered by something. And I am going to say this. I've tried to say this so many times in TikToks and in the past girls' night. I don't want to talk about the breakup. Quite frankly, I have given that so much time and energy and mental space. And the only reason I even made a TikTok about it was because I wanted the comments to stop. And not that they have. Every time I still go live, some people are like, "Hey, what did I miss? She lives alone now." Da 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 da. I just don't. My page has never been about like men or relationships or this. Some people didn't even know I was in a relationship, which is like funny because the whole time I had been on social media, I had been in a relationship. Um, and yeah. So, but I understand. People are nosy and I understand like I'm a person too. I have my favorite creators and I want to know like what's going on in their world and like I want to know the tea and the gossip, and sometimes I feel like we look at content creators and people who do social media as like reality TV stars, but that's just simply not the case. Like we are like this sounds so stupid. It's like we're people. Like this is it's any other. I don't know. The only reason I'm even bringing this up into tonight's girls' night is because a lot of you have either come into my DMs or left me comments, or whenever I put little like questionnaires up on Instagram, are asking me how do I deal with a breakup. Da 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 da. Like I said, I want to help you girlies grow. We're in this together. And if I can help somebody grow and if I can help somebody achieve a little bit more of peace of mind, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. So there isn't any drama to talk about. And even if there was, I wouldn't be the type of person to do it just because like I said earlier, I don't see any point of negativity or giving my energy, my precious energy to something if it's negative. If there's going to be a negative outcome, I don't really see the point of doing it. And doing everything with positive intent has been something I've been really focused on and being really conscious about the conversations I am having and the words that I'm saying and the things that I'm absorbing. And that's just kind of the era of my life that I'm in right now. But I had made a short little TikTok about like how to heal during a breakup and this that. Um my advice, and I said this in the TikTok, is all of that love, energy, time, money, effort, whatever it is that you were pouring into that relationship, pour it right back into yourself. Pour it into your relationships. Pour it into your hobbies, your career, this, that, and the freaking third. But my opinion, my genuine opinion, is you will not be able to do that until you've felt all the feelings and you've gone through all the stages of grief. If you need to sit on your couch and cry and be a little cliche with a bottle of wine watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, go for it. If you want to send a drunk text, go for it. If you need to beat the dead horse 100 times with your friends on FaceTime, go for it. If you feel the need to go out and flirt and this and that, do it. Your healing process is not going to look like mine, and mine is not going to look like yours because was not in that relationship with you. Does that make sense? Like every relationship is different, and every breakup is different because every person is different. The way that I cope is going to be different from the way that you cope. My lifestyle, my tendencies, my career, all of these things, my traumas, my triggers are going to be very different from someone else's. But that doesn't mean okay. And I think I did say this. I don't know if I said this or not, but I was like, that's why I feel like it's kind of dumb to ask for advice on how to get through a breakup because everybody's different. But it's like, let's still talk about it because if I do have any good input that could help somebody, why not talk about it? So go through the feelings, go through the motions. Like it's not one of those take it day by day. I hate that. I hate that so much. That's actually a quote that caused me to ghost a therapist. Take it day by day. Are you kidding me? I don't have a choice to take it day by day. What do you mean? Yes, I have to take it day by day, but like anyways, my advice is to take all of that love, energy, effort, whatever it is, and pour it into something. You now have more time. You now have more time to take care of you, your friendships, your home, your pets, your hobbies, your interests. It is the most beautiful thing to be able to find yourself again and re-fall in love with yourself because that is genuinely, I think, why the universe puts us through things like that. And this could honestly even be for friendship breakups. This isn't specifically romantically. And I genuinely think the outlook on it is super important too. Is it easier to be mad? Yes. Is it easier to say XYZ happened to me and I hate this person and this, that, and talking your crap or whatever? Yeah, that's easier than being sad. But what does that say about you as a person, if that makes sense? Like, I could sit here and be like, this was every disagreement that we had, and this is every, like, bad memory that we shared, or this, that, and the third. But I spent so long with that person. So, how does that make me look? Does that make sense? I am choosing to look at this in the most beautiful light. I was privileged enough to experience that and learn all of the things that I learned during that time, and that's what I'm going to take away from it. I don't want to be angry and I don't want to be sad. It is exhausting. Did I feel those feelings? Sure. Yeah, there were days, there were moments. If they come back up, that's okay too. But as soon as they come back up, I'm immediately replacing them with a positive thought. I'm literally trying to rewire my brain every single day, every single moment to think positively. And I know that sounds so cliche. I know it sounds so cliche, but it is genuinely the only thing that has helped me. Every time that anxious anxiety moment comes in or that overthinking moment comes into my mind, I take a deep breath, which kind of tells like my survival instincts to like calm down, it's okay, we're safe. Also, this sounds really dumb, but like I have struggled with anxiety my whole life. And every time I like start to feel really really anxious, where it's like jittery and almost feel like I can't control it, I start to list things around me. I'm like, okay, it kind of bring myself back down to earth. I kind of bring myself back down and I'm like, okay, let me be present in this moment because that's what exists. These intrusive thoughts, they don't exist. I'm creating them. And if I can create my own thoughts, why am I creating bad ones? I control this. I control this. That's the one thing that we have control over is us. The one thing in this world we actually have something that we can control is up here and in here. So what I'll do to kind of bring myself back to earth is I'll take a couple deep breaths and I will look at my apartment or wherever I am and I'm like, okay, that's a green lamp. That's a cat clock. That's Cleo. I know that there's this in the fridge. Awareness. Awareness. It's helped so, so, so much. And I also think just doing things that are solely for you are so important. I've recently picked up running and I love it, which sounds so weird, which sounds so freaking weird. But yes, I feel like I just get all of my things out of my mind and I just focus on like I don't know. It's really helped. And I'm not saying go pick up running and you'll be healed. No, I'm not saying that. Um do what works for you. You know what I mean? I also think a huge thing is getting back in touch with your identity. And I know that might sound kind of dumb, but I feel like an epiphany I had recently is I spent a lot of my life defining myself off of other people. Like I feel like I was like, "Oh, I'm Siba's or I'm Siba's big sister and I'm this person's best friend and I'm this and I'm like, "Oh, my mom's daughter and my dad's daughter." Like I didn't define myself off of who I want to be and who I am. And this is another way that if there's any way that I can influence you, let it be this is finding yourself is the most beautiful thing in the world. And a little practice, a little like conscious practice that I've been doing is every time I go out, whether it's like just to run errands with my friends or if I'm throwing a little girls' night at my place or whatever it may be, I think to myself, what is the vibe that I want to give off? And I finally figured out like who it is that I want to be and who it is that I am. And this is like I hope I give up. Oh no, screw the word hope. I don't like that word. And I'll talk about that in a second. No, we're going to talk about that right now. I and again, this is from that Modson book. I feel like the word hope is like 50-50. It's like, "Oh, I hope it happens." Like I hope like it's like, "Oh, if it happens, I'll be happy, but if it doesn't happen, then I'll still be okay." No. No, it's gonna happen the way that I want it to happen. Delulu is a Salulu. I don't care if I sound crazy. I like being crazy. Anyways, the vibe I want to give off, and I hope. Why do I just take it out of your vocabulary, girly? It's literally that easy. The vibe that I want to give off is vi- the vibe that I give off. See, look, we're consciously changing our thought process together. We're in this together, okay? The vibe that I want to give off is like rich auntie, like the aunt that's has like a mysterious amount of money and is like the cool aunt that collects art from her favorite artist and has all these crazy stories about like her youth and this that and like I'm the aunt that all of the like nieces and nephews come over and like tell all the secrets to and like they can trust and like has the cool cars and the cool jewelry like vintage jewelry collection and like everyone gets, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, right? I want to sound like the saxophone solo in Jealousy by the Neighborhood. That's the energy I want to give off. That vibe, I don't like just close your eyes and listen to that. That's me. That's me. And I know that sounds so weird, but like figuring out like okay, I'm back in touch with who I am and what I want to be and what energy I want to give in when I walk into a room. And that has really helped me with like identity because I do feel like when you're going through like when you split with someone, it's like especially long-term relationships, I feel like your identity kind of morphs into one, especially in like real life and in your social circles, especially when you did live together and stuff. So I think that finding my identity again was so important and it was such a beautiful thing and I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm not codependent. And I am a very independent person in the physical realm, but I feel like mentally and spiritually I've always been super codependent on people, whether it was family, friends, or relationships. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm pulling that power back to myself and I'm so grateful. And it's like I could sit here and look at the dark times and the sadness and the anger and all of those feelings that I went through, but genuinely I'm looking at it now like wow, I'm so happy. I'm actually really happy that that happened because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have put in the work if I didn't hit rock bottom. And I really do love that for myself and I hope that anybody who's is dealing with that feels the same way and I wish nothing but like healing on your journey if you're somebody who's been going through that, but it's going to take time. It is going to take time, 100%. Now I did say this in the TikTok that I made about like how to get over a breakup. Um Everybody says be alone, be alone, be alone, be alone. I'm always alone. Like I don't want to be alone. I love people. I love community. If it takes a village, it takes a village. And when I tell you, I don't think you should be alone. I mean, yes, I think it's important to like reflect because regardless of who decided on splitting up, whether it was mutual, one person or the other, there's healing to be done. You're grieving, you're mourning. That's okay. I don't think you should be alone though. I think you should be around your friends. I think you should build up your village. And I think that's a really fun place to put your energy to. I have gotten so much closer to my friends and my family. I have friends now. I have friends now. Ooh, and friends is something I really want to talk about, which we'll get to in a second. But I have never put so much love into friendship as of recently. I had my childhood best friend. I've seen her every month since, and I love her so, so much. There are two girls specifically, and I know you guys are watching this because you guys are so supportive and I love you. I like thank you for being here step of the journey, every thought when it went from up and down and up and down. And love you girls, literally love you girls. And that is one thing that I have so much gratitude for. Gratitude's another thing. Be grateful. That is so, I feel like people forget how important gratitude is. Like today in my shower while I was showering and just making it it's as simple as this. While I'm showering, I'm sitting there and, well, not sitting there, I'm washing myself and I'm like, we shower in some countries cleaning or drinking water. I just wasted probably, I don't even know how many gallons. Like I said, don't ask me about that kind of stuff. But I just wasted all of this water that is someone's drinking water in a third world country. I'm grateful. I am blessed. The way that I was kind of like raised growing up is you got a roof over your head and you got food on the table, you're rich. You're rich. That's why I will never say like I grew up broke. I will never say that. We not have the like opportunities to go do certain things that other kids in my high school were able to? No, we didn't. That's okay. We had each other. We had a roof over our head. We had blankets. We had beds. And I do think that has a lot with being like a lot to do with being Palestinian and everything that's been going on in Palestine. Like my parents are kind of just like they just implemented gratitude so deeply into our brains. Like you got to eat today and you got your family next to you and you've got blankets and you've got people around you and you've got a comfortable bed and you're not sleeping on the floor and you're not sleeping outside, you're blessed. And that is something I will take to my grave. And I'm so glad that they taught us that early on. And anytime we were being ungrateful, my dad would just be like, this is what's going on in the world, kids, and don't turn a blind eye to it. Be grateful. And just the way that is so instilled in my being is honestly such a beautiful thing. And I have so much gratitude for them teaching me gratitude, which sounds crazy, but it's just like I have the privilege to get up right now. My legs work. I'm blessed. I got to wake up this morning, blessing. I We live in a day and age where, do you guys like understand how lucky we are to be in a day and age that you have a device you're watching this off of? You're blessed. You're living someone's dream right now and you literally don't even know it. And I think that's why awareness is so important. And I think gratitude is so important to pour into yourself, into your friendships, into your career. And again, it's just perspective and it's really just wanting to rewire your brain. And yeah, back to friendships. This is a thought that came into my mind today. I feel like friendships are such a hard thing and it's not talked about enough. And I honestly think that a friendship betrayal is so much harder than a romantic one because it's like I expect a man to be a piece of shit, not my girls. You get what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful that I really haven't been dealing with like that much friend drama in my recent life. I also think that I've been working on setting boundaries, which is something I've never really been good at, which I'm again learning. I'm learning so much about myself and I love this era that I'm in. But with that being said, I have dealt with some really icky, not happy friendships in my past, and I feel like I have had some crazy things happen to me friendship wise. I feel like every girl has a story. But that shit hurts. I feel like more than a heartbreak. I feel like that isn't talked about enough because it's like you do owe your friends. I hate this whole thing where it's like you don't owe anybody anything type thing. You do. You do need to show up. You do need to be inconvenienced. If you want a village, be a villager. And I know this is talked about so much on social media and I might sound just like a broken freaking record. You have to show up for the people you love and you also got to appreciate it. Don't let that shit go unnoticed. Like when people text you and ask you to be part of the plans, appreciate it. Be grateful for it. Take a second. You know what I'm saying? Like really absorb the love that you have in your life because I feel like that's super important in healing too. And create it. There is love all around you. There is good in everything around you if you look for it. Like today, for example, when I was on my run, I was just running around, whatever, and the way that the birds were flying were freaking gorgeous. And it was like there is beauty everywhere you look for it if you look for it. But there is also ugly everywhere if you look for it. There's this Yellow Days quote, and Yellow Days is one of my favorite artists ever. And it's like kind of like something that plays at the beginning of a song and or the end of the song. I can't remember. I'm also going to quote him twice. Um, you can sit there and say people that listen to music just sit around listening to a bunch of complicated noises, or you can be like, music's a beautiful thing that brings people together. Like, he doesn't say that last part. He just says the first part about complicated noises, but something as simple and as positive as music, look at it like that, if that makes sense. Like, um, well, I just got a random freaking thought. I don't actually wear glasses. These are blue light glasses, and I just don't have makeup on, so I don't wanna. I love how I just went from such a deep conversation and like something so philosophical to, yeah, why am I wearing these? I'm actually taking it upon myself to be very authentic. That's kind of my new journey right now. I'm not wearing any makeup. My hair's not done up. I got no nails. My breakouts are showing. I'm like, this is me, guys. And if you don't like it, I'll find people that do, and that's okay. Anyways, but yeah, even something as simple as music is, you can look at it beautifully or you can look at it terribly. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have the nicest car. I feel like some people are like, "Wow, you do TikTok for a living and that's your car?" And I'm like, "She gets me from point A to point B, and I have my windows down and the music works, and I couldn't be happier." And there was this podcast that I was listening to, and it was like, basically a story goes like, there was a guy on a boat wishing he had a penthouse, and the guy in the penthouse wishing he had a boat, and then this girl driving to work wishing she was in a boat or a penthouse, and then there was a homeless lady on the street, and she was just grateful that she had a job interview, and she was the happiest out of the four. Basically, that's like a long story short, right? And I don't know why, but I really resonate with that. And it's like, it really is all about perspective, and it really is all about your decisions. And the whole Let Them Theory book that I've been reading, it kind of talks about like, it's let them and then let me. Let me is the second part. And it's like, you let people do what they do because you can't control them. But what is it that I can control about the situation, which is let me. Which kind of sounds weird because again, it's like you think the whole let them is about law of detachment, but it's also about what can I do for me, if that makes sense. And I really, really do love that. And that's kind of the journey that I've been on, is what can I do for me? And back to the whole selfish thing, because I don't think I even finished talking about that, which is a really bad habit of mine, and I also do in real life too, is where I start a thought and I don't continue it. Um, where was I going with this? Oh, the word selfish, I just feel like has been a little misused and abused. It's okay to be selfish. It's not okay to be an asshole. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to say, oh, this doesn't serve me, let me walk away. That's the type of selfishness I'm talking about. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to be like, oh, and that's the thing about boundaries. Something I'm learning is, again, I'm a Capricorn and a Leo rising, a Sag moon. I have control issues that I'm working on, okay? My brain is always like, how can I get people to do what I want them to do? How can I get people to whatever, whatever? I don't want to be that anymore. I don't like that trait about myself, and I'm ready to change it, and I'm working on changing it. Boundaries are not about what they do, and it's not about controlling what they do. It's about controlling what you do next. And that sounds so simple, but it feels so profound. And maybe I'm late. Like, genuinely, maybe I'm late, but this is just stuff that's been on my mind. And I feel like, again, I feel like I was in a spot where I genuinely was like below rock bottom. And the fact that I've been trying, why can't I talk? um, the only thing that I could do was get out. And I genuinely feel like it was one of those things. I remember thinking to myself one day it was like, I had a really bad panic attack, and I was like, I'm either going to get out of this or this is going to be the end of me. And that sounds so dark, but I knew that that wasn't going to be the end of me. I was like, you dramatic ass bitch, get the fuck up and do something with your time. Like, come on. Also, I'm Arab. I'm going to be a drama queen. I'm like, come on. Anyways, I will say, just with feeling like rock bottom, it wasn't just dealing with a breakup. It was literally, I was dealing with that, and I felt like I was also dealing with everything else under the moon. I felt like I was literally just like, this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong, because I was wiring my brain to think like that, which sounds so simple. It was like I was noticing every little inconvenience in my day to day and not looking at the beauty and not sitting there and smelling the fucking roses, which is what I'm doing now. It's like, I couldn't even see the good because all I wanted to focus on was the bad. And until I made the conscious decision of, girl, you are in your dream apartment. You have made it this far. You can achieve everything you want to. Start. Get up. Get over it. Like, I know that sounds so stupid, but I needed to do that in my own brain. And another thing with that is, I very much was like, okay, I want to heal. I want to heal X, Y, Z, B, whatever, W, Q, R, the whole damn alphabet. That's how I felt. Okay. I was like, I want to change this about myself and I want to change this and I want to implement this habit. And I was like, I can't do all of those things at once. The thought of doing all of those things at once makes me want to hurl and makes me feel worse. It makes me want to curl up in a ball and do nothing but scroll on my phone. So I was like, okay, if I can do one of those things every day, let me do them. So it was like, okay, I have made it a mission and I've kind of made it a habit to do one thing every day for different aspects of who it is that I want to become. So, with that being said, something for my body, mind, soul, spirit, meditating in the morning, reading a book, doing something for my career, doing something for my loved ones, whether it's calling a friend. And every day I did one of those things until I got to a point where, okay, let me do two of those things. Okay, let me do three of those things. Okay, let me do four of those things. Okay, now I'm in a flow state. Again, those flow state TikToks are so funny. And oh, this is probably the last thing I want to talk about. I really hope the phone is still recording. If that phone turned off, I'm going to be so burnt. But honestly, well, there's two more things I want to talk about. Honestly, I have my security camera. So, like, my thoughts are on my security camera, which I'm just going to hop into that really quickly. Everybody asks the adjustment of living alone. I have anxiety and paranoia, and I've dealt with that my whole life. And I genuinely think that the universe was like, not only are you going to be alone and 1,000 miles away from everybody you know, but like, yeah, that. We're going to put you through that to get over your anxiety and paranoia. And it's just doing simple little things. Like, I sleep with a nightlight. I'm scared of the dark. I'm 22 years old and I'm scared of the freaking dark. And I sleep with a anxiety little plushie. And that might be why I have sleep problems because I've really been struggling with sleep lately. But little things that make me feel better. Turning on my nightlight before bed. I have a nightlight out here in the living room because I sleep with my door open so the cats can sleep with me. I have a front door camera and I have a living room camera which pretty much captures the entire apartment. If I feel scared, I know that I can call somebody. I sleep with a pocket knife next to my bed. That makes me feel better. It makes me feel better. Little things that make me feel better, yes, they do. Always making sure my door is locked right before bed. Yes, being alone was weird at first, but now I freaking love it. Really, the only thing that got to me was the paranoia. It was just like, okay, I literally feel like somebody's gonna come in and murder me. Like, is someone plotting me on me? Is someone stalking me? Like, that's how my brain would work towards the end of the night, and that's kind of where I think my sleeping problems started. But anyways, I have come to the realization that living alone is the best thing ever. And if the economy wasn't so trash right now, I would be like, you should live alone. But I understand how hard it is to live alone and pay for things by yourself. Like, I it's life and I'm learning, but oh my god, somebody asked me today about money management and I started laughing so hard. I was like, I'm the last person you should ask about money management because like I said, like when I was younger it wasn't like again, I will never say that we were broke. We were not broke. My parents worked their asses off and we had such an abundant life. But I wasn't really always able to do everything that I wanted to as a kid. And which is normal. That's normal. No complaints here. My dad had an ice cream truck. I can't complain about my childhood. Anyways, again, perspective. But when someone asked me about financial advice, I said, the second I touched money for the first time, I picked up and traveled the world for 2 months, bought a car, and then, like, don't ask me. And then, like, took a little tiny private plane and saw Lana Del Rey twice in the same week. I got a whole sleep. Don't ask. Like, that's something I'm learning. And honestly, again, I feel like learning that and dealing with the hardships of that has taught me like everything that I've needed to like all of the negative stuff that I dealt with this year is teaching me things. And I think that's the beautiful outlook and the perspective on it is just that's really how I have to think about it. Which gets back, I feel like everybody kind of thinks like, oh, people do social media, this is that. We only show you what we want you to see, by the way. Same way you post on social media. You're not gonna show all of your like this is a character most people are playing when people do social media for a living. They're put on this front and that they want you to believe. And it might be a figment of their personality, yes, and it might be a figment of their day-to-day, but we are all normal freaking people, especially because social media is so saturated nowadays. No complaints. I want to see all my girls eat. I want to see everybody win. Um which leads me to another thought. But anyways, I feel like with social media, where was I going with this? Oh, do I think the saturation makes it a little harder, But at the same time, it's the best job ever. I don't blame you for wanting to chase it. Does that make sense? I don't blame you for trying to achieve. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yes, please post your TikToks every single day. Please try and do it as your job because it changed my life and I love it and I want all of us to eat. And yeah, so I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh, what I wanted to say is something so dystopian about living in South Florida, which has become influencer central. Everyone and their mother is an influencer out here. I love it. Do I have some negative thoughts, which I'm trying not to be around? Yes. It's okay though. Everyone is amazing. Every influencer, everybody. I've met some people that kind of suck, but that's let them suck. I'm gonna be great. I'll be the different one in the room. It is so dystopian how attention has become currency here. And it is crazy. Like when I tell you, there's restaurants, like restaurants that, okay, backstory. I went with two girls to this same restaurant. She had the reservation for months. 4 months. We get there. She came from another country, by the way. Okay? We get there. We're at this restaurant. They make us wait for 45 minutes and seat us at the freaking bar. Okay? And she's upset. She's this, is that, whatever. We ended up leaving. We ended up going somewhere else to get food. I DM'd that same restaurant. They said because of my following, they would comp me like this extravagant dinner and a bottle of champagne. What do you mean? Like, you wouldn't seat us. And it's so stupid because it's like, what? But yeah, attention is literally the new version of currency and it's crazy, especially here in South Florida. Like, it's kind of bad, I guess, because I've kind of developed this mindset where it's like, would you exchange for content? Like, which I don't think is a bad thing, but some people could look at it as a bad thing. I just find it so dystopian and so crazy, and I literally feel like I'm in a Black Mirror episode. Oh my gosh, speaking of that, did you guys see the Apple released Thneeds? Like, what is this phone holder? It's a Thneed. Bro, that is not my original thought. I saw that on a TikTok, but it really won't leave my brain. Like, what do you mean you made a Thneed? I love the Lorax. That's such a good movie. I just checked to see if this was still recording because I was getting a little anxious about that. I was like, if I have to refilm this, I'm afraid I'm not going to do it as good again. But if I have to refilm it, that's okay. Like, it would be meant to be. But today on TikTok Live, somebody asked me if I garden, and I'm gonna call it gardening, okay? Which, if you don't know what that is, it's 420 blaze it, okay? Stupid, but whatever. Um, no, I don't garden. I stopped gardening 5 years ago when I was 17. I gardened a lot in my teen years, and I was the type of person that was not productive. I was not a productive gardener, and it made me like a couch potato. I was like your stereotype. Like, I made it my entire personality, like, whatever, whatever. There's people who can and be very productive and apply themselves. I was not one of them. And I just know that if I ever picked up that habit again, I have this like subconscious fear that if I pick up that habit again, then I'm going to become unproductive again. And it's like I feel like I've reached a really good spot in my life where I don't even want to like put my foot in the water on something that could essentially make me not productive or make me not achieve what I want to achieve or like be the best version of myself. So, yeah, I don't know what like some people I don't know it. Do I give that vibe? Do I give the vibe that I garden? I feel like I am a chill person sometimes. Like I'm still Arab, still a little hot-headed sometimes. But I feel like I'm at a point where like I don't care if you do it. I really don't care if you do it in front of me. I don't care if you like do your own thing. Like I'm not one to judge at all. Um, but like I'm not gonna not be friends with someone who does. I quite frankly don't give a flying fuck. Like you do you. Doesn't mean I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly love that about myself. Um, but yeah, do I give gardener vibes? Do I like not actual planting plants in the earth? Okay. I feel like maybe on YouTube you're allowed to talk about it, but like I feel like I have such a TikTok brain because I've been doing it for so long. I am gonna say kind of like one last thing about like the whole relationship aspect thing. Um, you guys might have traumatized me just a oonsy little bit. Okay? I would love to do like a get ready with me for dates whenever the time comes and whenever I'm ready for that. I would love to do that. But I'm like, I also don't want anybody to know my business ever again. I like peace. I choose peace. I choose peace. I think we're gonna wrap up tonight's girls' night. I do want to get to a point where I'm doing these once a week, but I'm not gonna promise that because I don't want to promise something that I just can't keep. Um, and I'll do them when I can, and I hope you guys are okay with that, and I hope you guys still love that, and I hope you guys still show up whenever I'm ready to do them. I want to hear what topics you guys want to hear about. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting me And thank you for watching if you've gotten all the way to the end. I think it's really cool that there's someone out there that wants to care and like wants to know about what's going on in my little brain and what's going on in my world. And yeah, I have so much gratitude for you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, beautiful rest of your week, and a beautiful rest of your month. Um, but yeah, peace out.